Hey there, everybody. It's Fred Thomas at Frame and Wheel, and I'm going to pack up a bike and give you some tips on how to get a bike packed properly and shipped safely so that it gets to where it's going and doesn't get damaged. I know a lot of you are shipping bikes because you're selling them to people left and right. Here are some tips that I have learned. And so I'm going to start right in. Here is a fixed gear bike that we have sold, and it is going to get packed right now. And I've done a lot of it right now just to save you time. What we typically do is we bubble wrap the frame. So we take bubble wrap, cut it into strips like that, wrap it around all the way down to top tube. And the reason for that is it prevents the tube from getting scratched. And the rule of thumb really is no metal on metal. That's what's going to scratch things. And the shipping environment is pretty hostile. The bike goes onto a conveyor belt, it gets dropped, it gets jumbled around quite a bit, and the front wheel is going to take off. There's a good chance that it's going to rub around. So that's why it makes sense to wrap everything so that there's no metal on metal contact. We've done the same thing with the handlebars. Totally wrapped up in sort of supersized bubble wrap. It's not going to scratch anything. So once you've done that, and of course I should say, if you don't want to deal with this, we're happy to do it for you. We pack and ship bikes all the time. That's what Frame Wheel is all about. We're a full service reseller of cycling gear. We will happily do this for you. But if you want to do it yourself because you've got some time and all that, this is great. I wanted to make sure that it's a success. And if you got any questions, you just send them up there and I will answer them. This is a chat arrangement as well. This is a video arrangement. So the next thing is the front part of the bike. You can, if it's a very large bike, you can take the fork off, take the brake off, take the fork off, and stem all the spacers, and wrap it separately, and that will give you some extra space in the box, which you might need it if it's a really big bike. But you don't always have to do that. And here's the thing. I'll show you that what you can do is take the front wheel off and turn the fork stem backwards. You see, just by doing that, you create maybe 2 or 3 inches of space, and that will get the bike into a standard size bike box, just like that, and saves you a lot of time taking things apart. It also saves the buyer a little bit of effort on putting the thing together. But the one thing that we've learned is that buyers typically care mostly about low shipping. So if you can get the box or get the bike into a box that is as small as possible, the shipping costs are going to be less, and really the buyers care so much about that. We don't care about that. Shipping is a psychological thing for everybody. So that's why if you do a little work on this end to get the bike into a smaller box and it cuts down on the shipping, your bike is going to get sold much more readily. A key thing there is the oversize limits for shipping a bike. If the bike box is longer than, I think it's about 53 inches. If it's longer than 53 inches and maybe wider than 8 inches and taller than 29, basically if it has a dimensional weight of more than, I think it's about 160, the price goes up 50%. So for example, if the bike box is 52 inches long, let's just use that one number, 52 inches long, it'll ship to California from Maine for $75. If that length is 55 or 56, such that the dimensional weight is above that threshold, it's going to cost $150, just like that. So that's why it makes sense to get a box that is below that dimension and do what you have to do to the bike to get it in there. And you know, most people just say can't be bothered, they just chuck it right in there and they pay up. But you'd be surprised at how much you can save by just doing a little work like this. So this is a good thing to know. Just by taking the wheel off, leaving the stem on, turning around backwards, you create a lot of space. Key thing to know is that the brake is going to be up against the down tube here. Make sure that you've got plenty of padding in there, because the caliper arm conceivably can get pushed up against the down tube, create a scratch, and then you're looking at a dispute or a return of some sort. So that's that. The wheel is the next thing. How are you gonna get the wheel? The wheel is just a source of potential scratches. It's got exposed metal, and it's going to go in next to the bike like that. So this is how we deal with it. Get some, yeah, actually, this is pretty useful too, but for when you're actually doing the wrapping. But I'm going to spare you that for the moment. Oh, sorry. Okay. This is sort of industrial strength plastic wrap. And what you can do is you could, in theory, wrap the whole thing up, but that's not a useful. It's not a good way to use the stuff. We do a preliminary wrap like that. And we take a big slab of cardboard and we slip it in between the axle and that plastic so that you've got plenty of protection. You see, you've got all this cardboard that's going to be between the wheel and the frame. And the frame has got bubble wrap on it, so we've got a double layer of protection in there. And ask me a question. Hey, Alex. All right, love the beard. Thanks, dude. Alex, from the producer from All Things Bike, is commenting on my facial hair experiment. Yes, that's what's happening. This is the quarantine beard. My mother always said that every man experiments with facial hair. That's what she said about 20 years ago. Just last week, she said, "My gosh, Freddie, you seem to have an air of wisdom all of a sudden." I think she meant that as a compliment. I just feel a little old. I look at my beard and I figure if this was the ancient times, I'd be known as Grey Chin. Ah, yes, Grey Chin, the master bike packer. Anyway, I digress. The beard. So you can probably got a beard too now, right, Alex? So you see what we're doing here. We're using the cardboard and the plastic wrap. This stuff is an environmental atrocity. I'm trying to figure out a way to use less of this junk. Yeah, it's pretty effective. You see? So now this wheel is ready to go into the bike box, and all the metal has been covered up. Right on. So now the next thing, before we put it in the box, you want to make sure that the fork here is not going to. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Alex. Sorry about that. This is something to keep an eye on. This here is going to punch right through the bottom of the box unless you have it covered with some padding, without a doubt. And also, if the bike box goes on its side and something falls on it, the fork is at risk of getting compressed. You know, I'm not so sure how often that happens nowadays, but what you can do is either you get a little spacer, or you just make one piece of cardboard, put it into a triangle, make a dimension such that it fits right in there. And that is going to do the job. But what's more important and what's more likely to happen is the thing is going to punch down through the bottom of the box and it'll get damaged in the process. So if that happens, you're looking at a return or a dispute of some sort. So you've got to pack it carefully and properly. So we use these, I guess this is foam tubing, and works pretty well. Just wrap it right over here. That's going to be all right. Let's see, take a rubber band, use some lighting here. Oh, geez. All right. And down there. And reinforce it with place. Second, keep it in place. Okay, so that's there. And then always we got industrial strength 3-inch wide tape. It's perfect for this kind of thing. But again, you may not have all this stuff, and you may just find it's too much time and effort. And in which case, we're going to be really happy to do it for you. We'll get the bike cleaned up, image it, listed, sold, and then we're going to do this, and you'll never have to lift a finger. Because if you're not set up for it, it's quite a bit of work. So there's that. That's not gonna punch through the bottom of the sorry, that's not gonna punch through the bottom of the box. Right. So I think it is ready. So the other thing to do is a bike box. Where are you going to get a bike box? You can go to a bike store and say, oh, please, can I have a bike box? If you're a customer, they might give you one. They might very well give you a box that is suitable for a full-on, full-size, extra large mountain bike. In which case, it's going to be too big, and you're going to suffer on the shipping. That's unless you got an old bike box lying around from some other bike. Yeah, that's great, but you want to use one that hasn't been too heavily used. Old bike boxes, they do one round of shipping. It takes a lot out of them. They do another round. By the time they get to the customer, they're going to be weakened. So you're taking a risk. But we use new bike boxes. We have them manufactured locally at Volk Packaging, and each one of them is brand new, and they're strong and ready to go. And here it is. So we're just gonna slip right in there. We've also put an extra layer of cardboard on the bottom to reinforce the bottom so it doesn't come through. All right, here's the moment. Put it out and drop it right in. And of course, we're gonna have to do that. Okay, I'll just get that out. This is the only way to there. Okay, don't forget to ship the seat. That has happened so many times. All right, so the bike slips right in there. You take the air out of the tires. It creates a little more space. Handlebars slip right in there. Then we take this and slide that in. And all that cardboard really prevents the, makes things snug, prevents things from bouncing around too much. And then that'll tape up really nicely. Of course, how many times have I forgotten to send the seat? At least once or twice that I can think of. So anyway, that's the most important part of this small tutorial. Wrap the frame with bubble wrap in strips, much easier. Take the front wheel off and turn the fork around to create a shorter length. Just make sure that the brake caliper is got plenty of padding between it and the down tube. Take the front wheel, cover it with 2 big slabs of cardboard, wrap it in plastic. And what's the other thing? I think that's about it. Yeah, use a new box. And if you can't get all that stuff together, call Frame and Wheel, and we will do this for you happily. It's what we do. We have been doing it quite a lot, and we'll just take all the hassle out of it for you, and we love to do it. Gets your stuff sold, keeps the bikes out on the road with new owners. So that is all I got. You got any questions? Reach out on social media or just call me on the phone, and we will talk bikes. Thanks for watching.